part two of Parasite Eve and piano time at Carnegie Hall? I guess. But no, we're confronting Melissa at the moment, who has somehow spontaneously combust everyone and is fed up with what's going on. Ew, where'd the legs go? So, Melissa has now, the artist formerly known as Melissa, has now changed herself, or is now calling herself Eve, which I don't know why. She, that particular battle, she is. I mean, it's one of the first encounters, so she's not really that hard. She does kind of have that electric attack. Just kind of stay in between her, and you'll be fine. Now, granted, I am playing the EX mode, which enemies are tougher, which I'm now realizing after playing through quite a bit of the game, as the doctor kind of tells what's going on. But yeah, in EX mode, after you finish completing the game, the enemies are tougher. So my first playthrough, I really didn't have to grind. It was actually a pretty short go around. But yeah, they're pretty tough. So we're just gonna jump down here because we got to chase her. I don't know how she got herself in that small hole, but for some strange reason, we survived a 10-foot drop, and we're now in the sewers of a in the New York sewer. Now I'm pretty sure these rats are they're actually part of the. Wouldn't surprise me that those rats are actually that size in New York. I've seen some rats. Just saying, I've seen some really big rats. But but no, we're just chasing Eve throughout the sewers here. Now there are two chests, I should say. Oh well, we're encountering a new enemy, Mr. Frog here. You know, the rats, we get rid of them, but the frogs here have this kind of long distance ish kind of attack, and I believe they have a poison attack, if I'm not mistaken. And we now have the ability with our parasite energy, which I rather should explain. But yeah, there are two chests. You get a gun on this one. Actually, there's three. There's one further down here. But if you go up the stairs, there is, I believe it's either bullets or medicine. And throughout the game, we'll see this little girl show up throughout Aya's journey. But a problem that you will face throughout the game, again, this is why it's survival horror, is item management. As you level up, you'll be able to carry more items, obviously, and certain armors and things like that, they allow you to hold more items. But you know, for the most part, at least for this beginning portion of the game, as far as medicines, you kind of have to keep all your medicines because because we don't have a specific ability yet, so we have to keep all our medicines. And also too, it's just, when you die, you go, it's not like you restart. This is a PlayStation 1 game, so if you died, you go all the way back to the last time you saved it. Now, granted, in EX mode, you do get more bonus points if you complete a chapter without saving it. I won't be doing that because I'm afraid I'll die, especially later in the game, too. But like I was saying with the parasite energies, that's essentially our magic in the game. They allow us to do certain abilities. the ability that I gained a while back was the ability to scan, which is essentially just as in my Kingdom Hearts playthrough. Oh, hold on, cutscene. La 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 la. And I open the gates. It's like the T-1000. And you always had those urban legends about alligators in the New York sewers. Well, to a certain extent, it's come true. The thing actually looks like a Pokemon, if I'm not mistaken. But before I explain this, this is Mr. Alligator and or Crocodile. I don't know what his name is, but he is actually pretty simple. Now there are two targets. If you get rid of the tail first, he actually won't be able to actually do that attack. The only reason it seems pretty easy right now is because I have engraved the gun and the armor that I had in the my previous playthrough, my practice run, which the game allows you to do, thinking that you're going to do EX mode again. But he's pretty simple, actually. I mean, if you stay relatively close to him, you know, he does like the two-hit things, and the only one real attack you have to watch out for is his kind of swinging thing. But that's in that one, and then now we're actually brought back out to a wider area where he has that attack. Now, granted, I'm making short work of him, and it seems easy, but and definitely on your first playthrough, it is not an easy feat trying to get rid of Mr. Alligator there. But just as in Kingdom Hearts, I have the scan ability, which I did not use here. I don't know why. Which allows me to check up on the HP of the enemy that I use. And now that Eve has actually got away from us, we decide to leave Carnegie Hall, and now introduced to a new character, which which I like to think is just Captain Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon. You know, just after Riggs leaves, pretty much essentially. If Parasite Eve was to be casted, Danny Glover would be Daniel, who is Aya's partner in this whole thing. So I like the running background here. It's kind of funny. But we meet Danny with a hard cop with a heart of gold and a son. My son. Yeah, he has a son. We'll get into that later. But you know, he figures crazy stuff. Carnegie Hall. He comes and picks up his partner. Try to figure out what's going on here. And we also start to know a little bit about Aya. This is one hell of an incident. But and also too, I should explain what exactly Eve is doing, or her kind of mutation or whatnot. I don't, it's long. It's crazy. We got plenty of time. Please leave comments, negative or positive, whatever. I might reply to them if I think they're negative or whatnot. But I am now kind of going through the Chrysler building, and I'm not sure if I should record everything or just show parts of it. So you guys let me know. And for it to be December in New York, it's doesn't look that cold. Doesn't look that snowy. I found out why in the next part.